Welcome back to the places where we go. The next adventure on our Swedish itinerary is a visit to the Viking Museum in Stockholm.
Located on the Djurgården island, this interactive museum brings the Viking Age to life through immersive exhibits, historical reconstructions, and modern technology. If you've ever wanted to step into the world of the Vikings, this is the place to do it.
I'm actually too tall to be a proper Viking. Just don't tell anyone. The average height much closer to you, man, rather than me. I'm about 6'9", maybe a hair shy, and the average for them, for men, would be about 5'8". Women would be about 3 or 4 inches shorter, something. But everyone is shorter during pre-modern times, so by their own time, or their own contemporaries, they are quite impressive. And we do find people well over 6 feet tall as well, especially in graves with weapons such as an axe.
As you enter the museum, you're transported back over 1,000 years to the time of the Vikings. Here, you'll discover who they really were, beyond the myths of warriors and raiders. The exhibits highlight their daily lives, society, trade, and impressive craftsmanship that defined their culture.
One of the most fascinating parts of the museum is the work done by researchers to reconstruct what Vikings may have looked like. We came face to face with a Viking Age man. Using DNA analysis, forensic studies, and historical artifacts, scientists have digitally recreated lifelike images and models of Viking men and women. It's incredible to see how technology helps us understand the past with such detail.
Ever wondered how your name would look like in the Viking alphabet? The museum has an interactive display that lets visitors convert modern writing into runes, the ancient Viking script. Julie had fun spelling out her name using Viking letters, just like it might have been written centuries ago.
Julia in Viking?
Yes.
A highlight of the museum is Ragnfrid Saga, a thrilling ride that takes you on a journey through the Viking world. The story follows a Viking family and their travels, giving you a glimpse into the adventure, trade, and conquests of the time. It's a fantastic way to experience Viking history in an engaging and cinematic way.
It reminded me of like one of the kiddie rides of Fantasyland and Disneyland. You got into this, I don't know, it was like
car, like a little car.
Yeah, a little car, and it kind of took you through. It was all in the dark, but you saw Viking-ish things while
the imagery of what Viking life would have been like.
Yeah.
And there was audio too, so you heard that kind of intermixed with all of that.
It's probably a place I could see kids enjoying that. I thought it was
I enjoyed it.
Pretty kid-friendly, and even the adults too.
Yeah.
But if somebody's traveling there with kids and you're looking for something that the kids might enjoy, this would be one of those places.
For sale, and young and beautiful ladies.
The seer has spoken about the robbers along the river. Beware, Harold.
We are sick and have almost no food left.
Father, please come home soon.
On the other side of the sea, they carried north, through forests, over high mountains. They followed the rivers on to Germania's plains and arrived at the kingdom of Dane. They came to Hedeby. And so my tale ended happily. Well, this time.
The museum also features an impressive collection of Viking artifacts, from weapons and jewelry to everyday household items. Interactive displays let you touch, hear, and see history in action.
Before leaving, don't forget to check out the gift shop. It's filled with Viking-inspired souvenirs, including handcrafted jewelry, books on Norse mythology, and even replica Viking drinking horns. A perfect place to find a unique memento from your visit.
The Viking Museum offers a deep dive into Norse history in a way that's both educational and entertaining. Whether you're a history enthusiast or just curious about Viking culture, this is a must-visit spot in Stockholm. We came over to the Viking Museum.
It was interesting, and what fascinates me the most is the story of what the Viking meaning really is. It's not a people. It means a
Warrior.
Yeah, warrior, somebody that fights, and it could be not only in the Scandinavian countries, but other countries as well.
The thing I found fascinating is here where they've taken the bones, some of these Viking warriors, and they've reconstructed what they look like.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that was neat to see. One of them looked like he could have been your cousin.
Yes.
Yes, because you're from these parts.
Yes.
Too, once upon a time.
Yes,
so very interesting things to see in Sweden. The tour guide said there's more than 80 museums here.
Yeah.
So if we ever come back, we have lots and lots and lots to keep us busy.
Yep.
And if you come to Sweden, lots and lots and lots to see in Stockholm.
Wonderful, wonderful city.
Yeah. And if you're in Stockholm, you'll find plenty of museums to visit, offering something for every interest.
Just a short distance from the Viking Museum, you'll find Fotografiska, a world-renowned photography museum with stunning exhibitions. Music fans can visit the ABBA Museum to celebrate Sweden's most famous pop group. The Museum of Wrecks showcases underwater archaeology and shipwreck discoveries from the Baltic Sea.
For families, Unibaken brings the world of Astrid Lindgren's beloved children's books to life. The Spirit Museum explores Sweden's unique drinking culture, from craft spirits to contemporary art. And there's also, if you're a fan of open-air museums, you'll find a very impressive one on this island also. It's called the Skansen Open Air Museum. So you can spend days just on this island section in Stockholm, going from museum to museum to museum. We were able to do 2. Whatever your interests, you'll likely find museums in Stockholm to enhance your itinerary.
After our museum visit, it was time to hop on the tour bus to head back to the city center for a final afternoon in Stockholm. During our final hours in Stockholm, we walked to the City Hall. So off we go, and we went over to their City Hall, which is a very, very iconic building in Stockholm. It's located on the eastern shores of Kolsholmen Island. It's a grand red brick building that was completed in 1923 and serves as the seat of the city government. Aside from its administrative function, City Hall is also known for its beautiful architecture, its stunning interior design. It features a mix of different architectural styles and includes medieval-inspired towers and Renaissance arcades. We're told that the interior boasts intricate murals, mosaics, and sculptures that are showcasing Swedish history and culture. However, we only got a chance to visit the outside. So if you're inclined to visit, you can climb a 360-foot tall tower for a panoramic view of Stockholm and all the surrounding islands.
And we spent time, on the one hand, just admiring the outside architecture because it was pretty stunning, but it also sits on the water, and we just spent some time just sitting on the banks of the water there, relaxing, and
yeah, it's very nice.
People watching,
very nice.
And yeah, nice place to get some downtime. All right, Julie, as we're sitting here in Stockholm by the waterfront, what's the short story of why this area is significant to you?
I have a grandfather who's first generation Swedish American, who was raised in Iowa, but both of his parents, Anton and Amanda Susanna, were born in Sweden. They were in different parts of Sweden, but married in America. I still have family in Sweden who live in Småland area. Maybe we go to the farm.
Yeah, well, you've already had contact. So.
I've had contact.
Yeah.
They know about me.
So you're doing the family job of being the genealogist and historian, I suppose.
Yes.
And we get to go places like this.
Yeah. And because I've done so much research on my family that come from Sweden, I feel super connected to places like this, knowing that this was the country that they were from.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool.
Yep. And here we are.
From our visit to the city, we also offer a few considerations or takeaways, if you would. We experienced an immense amount of rain. We didn't have umbrellas, but we did have our raincoats with us. So we would say, no matter what time of year, be prepared for weather, be prepared for rain. And even in spite of the rain, we found it just easy still to get around. I think as long as you have a raincoat, you're good. Yeah.
Another takeaway would be plan your itinerary in advance. There is so many things to choose from.
And this is, I think of all the places on our cruise, Stockholm was the one that the excursions were selling out the most. So if there was like something you were really interested in, if you didn't book that early, you'd be out of luck.
So try to book those in advance.
Yeah. Someday in the future, perhaps a trip to Stockholm, Sweden will be on your list. It's in the top 15 most visited cities in all of Europe. And if you choose a cruise holiday in the Baltic Sea, you might just end up for 1 or more days in Stockholm like we did. We hope we've given you a taste of this great city, a few ideas about things you can experience in Stockholm, and honestly, we feel like we just scratched the surface during our visit, and of all the stops on our 2-week cruise, Stockholm left us with a hunger to return to see more of its offerings, and maybe someday we will.
Join us next time when we sail to a different port of call on this Baltic Scandinavian cruise adventure. Thanks for coming along on our journey. Be sure to like and subscribe for more travel adventures.